Preservation of the island's past has always been vital to the citizens of Sanibel. This passion has been embodied in the Sanibel Historical Village and Museum.
Sanibel stayed undeveloped, really, except for a few families for so long, until after the Second World War. And then as it started to change and people got aware that a lot of people were looking toward Sanibel to not only live here but to run establishments here.
When I first arrived here to live, I immediately became interested and involved in the preservation part of the island. And they were beginning to put the ideas together and formulate a land development code called historic preservation. And I fortunately got an opportunity to be involved in that.
I started working on the idea of having a village here. And I got the idea from an old cracker. And once I moved this store here, then people just lined up and wanting to help. And it's amazing that the people have gotten behind the effort and made this village possible.
When people visit our village and they go through with docents who tell the history, that's what we're all about. And they leave with an entirely different feeling about what Sanibel was like many, many years ago. And they realize how simple life was.
When you get up in your 80s, boy, you're part of history. And I just was delighted with the help and the interest and support that I got in developing this village.
This kind of community spirit and support has been demonstrated through Sanibel's Community Association that has catered to the social, civic, and philanthropic needs of the island's people.
All of our entertainment centered around the Community Association building. Square dances, cakewalks, even showers when somebody was going to have a baby. It would be there and everybody would be invited. Our Christmases were there. We were content.
In 1925, a community fair that was held on the porch of the old Island Inn. And it was so successful that they did it again the next year on the porch of Sanibel Hotel. The following year, it had grown so much that a gentleman by the name of Curtis Ferry got the idea to form the Community Association. And he actually went from one end of the island on foot to raise money.
Well, the community house was built by a group of people that were public-spirited, of which my father was a prominent one.
Just about every organization has had its beginning here. The Shell Fair originally started in 1927 when this building was built. The first ribbons and trophies we have records of are in the mid-50s. Since then, it has grown to be a full-scale Shell show and fair.
The library actually started in a closet over at the community house, and it grew and it grew and it moved to a new place and another place until today we're in quite a beautiful building just down the street.
Today at the community house, we still have our organizations that meet here and call us home.
The conservationist beliefs and ideals of J. Ending Darling live on and are being realized through the people of today's Sanibel.
Today, with land acquisition of private tracts and exchanges with the state of Florida for some of the state lands, it's up in the vicinity of 6,000 acres. That includes both upland, mangroves, and bay bottom.
A person coming to the refuges today is going to find a myriad of things to do, things to see, and to be a part of. Anything from being one of the premier birding refuges in the country to the ability to get out into a mangrove estuary system and actually be within and be a part of the system itself, watching wildlife essentially live its day and do its thing. We also have outreach with school kids. We actually through our Ding Darling Wildlife Society, provide opportunities through buses and education programs to bring children from off-island onto the island to get a better understanding.
Well, the new visitor center is fantastic. It's well done. The exhibits are excellent. The staff is outstanding. And even if you're a novice, and when it comes to getting a feel for conservation or hands-on knowledge of what's going on to save natural resources and wildlife species, you'll get a good education there at that starting point.
The natural habitats of Sanibel have served as a laboratory for many environmental scientists. And yet Sanibel also has had to learn a few lessons the hard way.
I wrote an ordinance back in 74, 75 that prohibited the feeding of alligators on Sanibel. We passed that unanimously. Florida recognized this may be an important tool in regulating or trying to prevent interaction between humans and alligators. So alligators can no longer be artificially fed in the state of Florida, and that all started right here on Sanibel Island.
On refuge lands, we control those very carefully, but we tend to we control the people more than we control the gators because of the mission of the service. We regulate where people go and what they do.
There are a number of alligator attacks in the past 3 years, including 2 fatalities, one of them Janie Melsick. And at that point, people just recognized that the rules needed to be tightened and changed.
And then with the death of Janie Melsick, it just took the wind out of me. I don't think I'll ever recover because of that death. And now more recently a death over at Health Park in a pond. Just pure tragedy. People must not feed alligators.
The citizens of Sanibel have overcome many challenges in the past half-century. However, new challenges are ever present.
The City Council of today is probably faced with some of the same challenges we had to face. In time, they'll have to re-examine traffic circulation, especially with the new bridge. They'll need to take some real modern approaches to traffic outflow.
Well, we have changed on Sanibel over the years, and more and more people have seen it as a place to come and make money, perhaps, rather than to retire or to raise a family. And I think the years ahead we're going to have to face the question of how residential we can keep it as opposed to commercial.
I think the challenges for any arts organization is to stay open, to offer many different things for many different people, for many different ages. It's very important to stay vital. We need new people, new ideas.
Historically, people came here because of the wonderful weather, the beautiful beaches, the shells, and the idea of preservation. And of course the city, when it incorporated, kept those ideas. And it's so beautifully stated in the Sanibel plan, if you read it, that this is exactly what our goals are always. It's to keep it as much a beautiful island as we possibly can.
Sanibel Island boasts a rich history, a one-of-a-kind tapestry woven with threads of pristine beauty and rugged, untouched wilds. It's this combination that creates the magic that is Sanibel Island.
I think the island, Sanibel Island, produces its own magic.
The magic for Sanibel Island comes from a lot of sources, but it comes most importantly and primarily from the aspect of nature and wildlife.
I don't know where the magic comes from, but you certainly feel it if you live here. It's beautiful, that's one thing. It attracts wonderful people too.
I honestly believe that the magic of Sanibel is very personal, and I think everyone has a different idea of why it's so special to them.
I don't know that there are too many places in America anyway where you can find this gentleness, this beautiful, tranquil feeling that you get when you're on this island.
It's still probably one of the nicest places in the world to live.
It's been my home forever, and well, it's home, that's it. And the people here are great people, and it's part of me, a whole heck of a lot of me.
To order a video of this program, call 1-888-824-0030 or visit our website at wgcu.org. And please refer to the program number on your screen.